Hi, I'm Christine Dion from Mo Dion Cosmetics and Training. Today I'm going to show you how to get the perfect stage eyes. This is for any performer that really wants their eyes to be open and gorgeous on stage. I'm also going to use neutral colors, so no matter what you're wearing up on stage, it's going to look flawless and beautiful with it. Okay, this is my gorgeous model Kelly, and we're going to start with stage eyes on this side, just like we did on that side. I want you to notice we haven't done foundation, concealer, and powder yet. The reason is, when you're doing eye makeup of this kind of intensity, you get some shadow fallout underneath the eyes. We want to have a nice clean area that we can clean up, then do foundation, concealer, and powder and make it flawless. The colors that I've used on her are the following, very, very neutral colors. And these colors are going to go with every costume change and look, as well as every theme that you pull together. On her eyes today, we're going to do the brown, peach, and cream color theory. It's a little bit of a warmer look to go with a red tone lip. If we were doing a more of a burgundy or a more sheer rosy colored lip, we would go with the cooler color, the plum, brown, and then the peach and the cream. The black we'll also use to intensify and create other colors in the future, other looks in the future. And we're going to use these two as eyeliners as well. Before also you do your foundation, concealer, and powder on the whole face, you're going to want to put a little powder on the lid. Make sure that you have a nice dry canvas to apply your eyeshadow to. So I'm going to use some face powder. It's a very golden undertone. Like all of our products, we do a more golden tone when it comes to the face. Close your eyes, and we set the lid so the shadows will go on nice and smooth. I also am a fan of the mineral makeup, mineral powder and foundation, but you want to avoid too much mineral foundation and powder when you're doing anything involving stage lights, because you'll get a lot of light reflection. When it comes to these eyeshadows that we're using, they're all matte shades. There's no shimmer at all. The shimmer that we're going to use later is only for key light catching points. Even the lightest color is a matte shade. These are best for absorbing light. They help you really define and bring out that eye. Later though, we're going to add some shimmer and a little show appeal. I'm going to start with the brown shade, and we're going to use an angle brush to get the look. It's the dark shade, so we always go dark to light. Don't go light shadow to dark. You don't get a nice blend. Start with the darkest color, finish with the lighter color. Look at the end of your eyebrow. That's your lift point. From base of the nostril to the end of the eye out, we know the shadow is going to come up in this direction. So we're going to tap with the pointy side of the brush going up. In the outer corner, eyes open, just like Kelly has. She's a pro. We're going to keep it nice and rounded, just above the crease. Above the crease is very important. We need a nice lift to the eye. We're going to go halfway over. If she had a more Asian eye or almond-shaped eyes, I would bring it all the way into this area. But we're going to stop here because she's got these gorgeous showgirl eyes. Lid, inner half, absolutely no shadow at all for now. We're going to take now the very soft rounded brush. This is a balancing brush, and again, all my brushes tell you how to use them. This is the balancing. It's nice, soft, and round, so if you don't have my brushes, but you got one like that, you'd grab that now. And we're going to use that peachy color. So we're going to take that peachy color now. Tap off excess, because sometimes you get too much, so tap it off on your hand, and then we're going to blend it from the outer end of the eye all the way over to where the brow begins in the inner corner. So it goes from here all the way up on this bone. Make sure to leave up under the brow free and the inner half of this lid free. Also note this peachy color is a little bit brighter. That's because we're using a red tone lipstick in a minute that's going to create balance to the lips, going to balance the eyes to the cheeks to the lips perfectly. Lastly, we're going to highlight this look, and we're going to use a highlighter brush. Now these brushes are very, very flat. flat so you can get way up high under the brow and wide to cover the lid. I'm going now to the lightest shade of all inside this palette. We're going way up high under the brow and close, and on the inner half of the lid. Perfect. Beautiful. Now you can see that lid really pulling through. This is a good time to kind of blend a little bit, blend in your edges, and not worry too much about having any shimmer right now. Just we're doing the color, our pigments now, really blending them in. I'm going to do that balance a little bit so we have some brightness. Beautiful. Now let's use our palette as liners. We're going to use the black and the brown as our eyeliners. These are rich German pigments. You can use them wet or dry with multiple uses. So this is wonderful to start underneath the lower lashes now with this brown shade. It's best not to use black underneath your lower lashes and black on the upper lashes. It's much better to mix it up and do a lighter shade underneath the lower lashes. That way we'll give a softer effect. She is brown on the bottom, black on top, and then white pencil in between. I'm going to use a fabulous product called Eyeliner Sealer. I'm going to stick my liner brush right up inside the little tube in here, get just the right amount. Eyeliner Sealer is fabulous to use for this. And I'm going to stir up right onto that brown shade now to get a nice line, creamy eyeline there. And always test it on your hand. Test the consistency. Make sure it's not too thick or too wet. That's nice consistency going there. Now look up to the sky. We're going to extend it out in the outer corner, coming just beyond the crease in the direction of the end of the brow out. You can see how it's coming straight out towards the end of the brow. And then we're going to run it just a little bit underneath her lower lashes. Oh, thinning it out as you come in. Beautiful. The next thing we're going to do is go to the black shade, that black color I was showing you. Stir it up inside there. Test the pigments. And you know what? I don't even need to clean my brush because black always overpowers brown. And I'm going to do a nice lift now, coming up towards the end of the brow out. Gives me a nice lift point and close. Now, if you have a hard time with liner, it's something that it's very difficult for you to do, you can do a dry run, and that means no liquid, no eyeliner sealer. And by the way, if you want to try this with water, you can use water instead of eyeliner sealer as well. And it just won't be waterproof, but it will stay on real nice. Open. It's only when you have a lot of performances that you're going to want to use eyeliner sealer. It'll make it waterproof. And look straight to me. Beautiful, nice lift point. All right, let's take our white pencil. You got to make sure it's perfectly sharpened and nice and clean. And you're going to go in between the two lines with the white eye pencil. Another spot you're going to want to take this white eye pencil is right under and onto that lower lid is what we call this, is the lower lid. This will really open up those eyes out. Beautiful. Now I use a very high grade, very moist white pencil. If you don't have something like that, if you have one that's a little bit more stubborn, not as creamy, you can run it under hot waters or warm your in your fingertips a little bit and get it a little bit more creamy looking. Fabulous. Now let's add a little shimmer to this and we'll finish. The shimmer's very, very important. I like to use an opaque shimmer pot. It's a very white sparkling powder. I'm going to use this one called Stardust in Maud Dion's line. It's a white silver because Kelly has blue eyes. Tap off the extra and close. This is where shimmer goes. Key light catching points. The center of the lid, the brow arch, and the inner eye corner. And here's Kelly with her finished eyes.